in a time in which he lives. And
Okay. All right, letting people in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're joining us right now, welcome to Life Talks number 4. Whether you're watching right now live or tuning in later on YouTube, got another really cool presentation today. We have Cathy Brorson from Kitsap Credit Union joining us today, talking to us a little bit about some financial literacy, about what's going on in our world right now, and really steering us towards a really cool opportunity, really cool program to gain greater clarity and understanding about the finances, about money, about all that good stuff that we need to know in the next chapter of our lives. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Cathy. Thanks for joining us today, Cathy.
Thanks for having me, Mr. Prince. I appreciate that. And hello, students. It's good to virtually be with you today. This is kind of a new thing for all of us. In fact, this is my first Zoom call or Zoom class. So bear with me as we go through this. But let's just start off by taking a look at the state of our nation. I assume that a lot of you already have jobs. And if you do, that's great. Congratulations. I assume that there's also a lot of you that may still be looking for jobs too. And don't give up. Keep looking at that. But even before the COVID-19 pandemic, good jobs were hard to find. And let's take a look at why that is. So if you look at the generations that are out there, you have the greatest generation, which is made up of your grandmas and grandpas. Okay, these are people who have already gone into retirement and have started just enjoying that golden age of life. But for a lot of them, unfortunately, they found out very quickly that what they had saved isn't enough to sustain them through their daily living. Even more so now, just inflation, and as things continue to change, it's getting harder and harder to maintain their livability. So a lot of them are now having to come back out of the workforce and go back out into the work world just to maintain their daily life. You also have the second generation, which is the boomers. That's my generation. I will say I'm at the youngest end of that generation, but nonetheless, that's going to be closer to your mom's and dad's age, maybe a little bit older. But a lot of us are planning on retiring. I'm looking to retire hopefully before I'm 65. But a lot of my friends are saying, gosh, I don't think I'm going to be able to retire ever. And that's really the truth of it. They feel like it's that bleak. Unfortunately, a lot of my friends didn't start saving until they were 25, 30 years old. And so they're already behind the 8 ball, and now they're having to play catch up. But because of all of the unemployment, because of inflation, because of a lot of things that we're seeing in the world today, they're probably going to stay in the workforce. So the trickle-down effect to you is that a lot of these entry-level jobs that should be available for young people your age are being taken up by older Americans. So things like your retail jobs, your fast food jobs, grocery store clerks, a lot of the areas where you would normally be able to get in and get good work experience and customer service experience are just no longer available to you. How that affects you further down the road too is when you find that job that you truly love and that you want to have for the rest of your life. A lot of those jobs are saying, you know, besides your college degree, we want you to come with 1 to 2 years of experience as well. Well, you may or may not be able to get that experience that you need. So this is becoming more of a snowball effect. So on top of all that, then the pandemic happened. Who would have ever expected that we would be living through a pandemic? But we are, and it's going to reshape the future. So very quickly, what's happened is over 33 million Americans have suddenly found themselves unemployed, no income at all. And so that is going to take years probably to recoup from down the road. I experience this every day this month. One of the things that Kitsap Credit Union does is we help with a thing called Full Circle Meals in Kitsap County. And so 4 days a week, I go around to local restaurants that are participating. I pick up meals and I take them and deliver them to the Kitsap Rescue Mission. And my experience has been that some of these restaurants weren't even able to participate because they had to shut down. Other restaurants that are participating are barely keeping their doors open, and all of their staff have been laid off. So as we roll out of this pandemic, what we're going to see is that even when these businesses do come back a little bit more fully, they're not going to be able to hire back all of the staff that they previously had. So you're going to have even more people still looking for good paying jobs. What that does, it further cuts the job pool for young people your age. So what that means is now more than ever, you really need to bring your A game to the hiring table. I'm sure a lot of you already have a vision for what you want your future life to look like after high school. You want to have a certain kind of car, you'd like to purchase a home, maybe live in a certain location, and that's good. It's good to have a plan, it's good to have those dreams, but you also have to have a strong financial foundation now in order to achieve those goals. Like I said earlier, you can't wait until you're 25, 26, 27 years old to start the planning and the process of saving and building your future. You have to establish that right now so that by the time you are 25 or 26, you're already achieving and realizing some of those dreams. And that's where this program is going to help you. So this is the Kitsap Credit Union Financial Wellness Program. It's powered through a company called EverFi. EverFi is one of the leading financial technology companies out there, and we've had a long-standing relationship with them for years now. We're established in 16 different high schools, all the way down to Puyallup through Tacoma, everywhere. So Mason County. This is a widespread program, and we're very pleased to be able to share it with you today as well. Before we get into what the actual program is, I do want to explain there's some benefits to you doing this. This is like a 6 to 7 hour course, and I'm not sure how long Mr. Prince will give you to complete it, but I'm sure he'll share that with you in due time. But the biggest takeaway that you'll have from this, besides the financial knowledge, is that this is a certification course. So you will receive a certification at the end of the program if you pass with 70% or better. That's really easy to do, and I'm going to explain that in just a little bit. The second benefit to you is that through the EverFi company, 2 times a year, there are 2 different scholarship cycles. And so if you have achieved your certification, you're eligible for those scholarships. The only criteria is that you write a 500-word essay on what you liked best about our KCU Financial Wellness Program. And that's what enters you into the scholarship. So there's a chance for some post-secondary education dollars that maybe you didn't know about before. Other than that, the benefit to you is just you're going to have all this great information. This certification will certify you in all of the basic financial concepts. This is something tangible that you can walk away with, that you can put with your job application. I would highly encourage you to do that. Put it in your resume. EverFi is a nationwide company. It's recognized pretty much everywhere. So this is something that truly can be a benefit to you. So with that, I just want to talk to you a little bit about what we're going to do today. It's very quick and very easy. Mr. Prince has a registration page that I previously sent out to him. We'll kind of go through that. But first of all we're going to do is really set up your profile today. So we're going to go online to the EverFi site. You're going to input your name and information, and we'll get you all set up with a class code. And I don't know where the class code, oh, there it is, right at the bottom of your screen. You should see it. Make sure you put it in exactly as you see it, and that last digit is a 0. It's not a O, just so you know. Okay, so once you get your profile set up, that should really only take a couple of minutes. Then what you're going to see is you're going to see your dashboard. And your dashboard just looks like green, grassy, rolling hills. And across the bottom of the page, you're going to see 7 icons. Those are the 7 different modules that we're going to be working with. And Mr. Prince didn't indicate if he wanted you to start with a particular one, so I will let him direct you on that part. But once you oh, there I see the registration page. Thank you. So what you're going to do is you will go to the everfi.com/login and just kind of follow that through the registration. It's very simple, and that'll get your profile set up. So once you're on your dashboard, the first thing that it's going to ask you to do is you're going to take a financial literacy survey. This survey is just, it's to set a baseline to say, what do students know before they, so if you don't know an answer, that's okay, just answer to the best of your ability. And then following that, it will take you back to your dashboard where you'll select your first module that you want to do. When you open a module, the first thing it will do is it will give you a pre-test. It's just like 4 questions, very simple. And so for example, the first unit is banking basics. So what it will ask you is 4 questions just on banking basics to see what you know right now before you go through the module. Then you're going to do the work, and you can do a module one of 2 ways. You can read it off the screen, or you can hook it up to audio and listen to it. Either way, you're still getting delivered the same amount of information, so don't worry, you're not going to miss out on anything. And also, should you need it, underneath where you your login, there's an area where you can switch over to Spanish. You click that button and it will completely change the entire program to Spanish for you. So that's available as well. So you're going to finish going through your work in the module, and then once you complete the module, there's going to be a short post-test. The post-test is how you're going to earn your certification. You have to achieve 70% or better on the post-test in order to pass that particular unit. But here's the great part. You know, we know that financial information there's a lot to it. And this is not a one and done type of program. We want you to walk away feeling confident and comfortable that you understand this information. So if you don't pass that quiz the first time, don't sweat it. You can always go back and keep retaking that quiz until you get that information ingrained. You do not have to redo the entire module, but you can retake that quiz, okay? Also with this program, Mr. Prince, he is kind of going to be the overseer of your class. So he has a dashboard, and he is able to pull up your name and see exactly where you are as you go through the program. So he'll know which units you've passed, which ones you haven't, and where you are. So if you have any questions or anything, you can contact him, or he can contact me. I'm happy to assist in whatever way I can on that. Following the program, once we figure out what our end date is, Mr. Prince will communicate to me those of you that have achieved your certification. I will prepare those for you, and then I will get those to Mr. Prince for distribution so that you have those before the end of the year. And really, that's pretty much the process to get onboarded for this program. Are there questions? Let's see, I'm going to look in the chat. Okay, well, I'm not seeing any questions come up. Mr. Prince, did you have a particular unit you wanted them to start on?
No. What is some advice? What is a good unit that you usually advise people to start on?
I would start with the banking basics, and as you're looking at your home screen, it's on your bottom left. It's that first icon.
Perfect. Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay. And do we have an end date in mind?
For seniors, probably about, how about July 10th?
July 10th. Okay. Okay, so students, you have until July 10th to complete this program. As I said, this is a 6 to 7 hour course. Another benefit to this program too, no matter where you are, you have access to this material. So whether you're at your desktop, on your iPhone, your iPad, your tablet, doesn't matter. You use your school login to get into it, and it's ready and for wherever you are. So should make it pretty easy to complete this.
Awesome.
Yeah.
If there's no questions out there, if people have questions later, feel free to reach out to me, email me, and I can set you in the right direction. Again, this is just expanding our knowledge of finances, of money, of everything that we need to know to help us be wiser with our finances and money, and just understand what our world is asking of us. So this is a great program to help you with that. And Cathy, thank you so much for taking the time today to coming out here and sharing with us this info on this great program.
Oh, it's very much my pleasure. And students, keep in mind that certification that you can walk away with from this program really can be the key to you getting a job over somebody else. It's great to be able to take a set of financial skills to the table. Any potential employer is going to be impressed with that.
Awesome. All right. If there are no further questions, thank you all for coming. And once again, if you have any questions at all, reach out to me. We have one more Life Talks next week on Tuesday featuring your teacher, me. We're going to be chatting about what to expect in the coming years, the coming chapters of your life. So if there are no further questions out there, have yourself a safe and happy weekend, y'all, and we'll see you next week.
Great.
All right. Thanks, Cathy.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Yeah.